What up guys, OtterPop here. It has been a hot second since I recorded some new material, and I mean really since I posted my last vlog. I'm pretty sure when I posted my last vlog I was still in my project management certification program, but it is finally November and I can finally take a little bit of a breather. I guess the first thing I can start off with is I'm no longer quite as crazy as I used to be now that I finished my project management certification program. Actually, I don't know. I think the last vlog was in August. If it was, then I'm good. I'm good with project management. I finished that. That was such a time consumer. That was one of the hardest courses I think I've ever had to do ever. And I've been through 4 years of college. Science-heavy college classes. Including 2.5 years of chemistry that I wish I didn't take, except I can't really do that because I got my job because of that. In part. Kind of. Because of my chemistry-heavy background, I was part of the reason I was able to get my current job. Thank goodness my uncle knows people, though. Hooray! It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's what my parents always told me. So, yeah. So that's finished up. I can finally take a little bit of a breather compared to before. And then not long after that program ended, my sister and I were like, we need a break. We need a vacation of some sort. And our version of a vacation is driving from northern Colorado to Minnesota. Because we have family there. We have grandparents there. We have 4 awesome grandparents there. And my mom's parents and her step-parents are absolutely fantastic. Mom's parents got divorced and both of them remarried before my sister and I were even born. So we've always known 4 grandparents on that side of the family. And they live in pretty different areas as well. One set, the set we first went to, is a little bit more, they live a little bit more in the rural kind of area, and they're super sweet. I mean, I don't think they fully understand my sister and I and some of like our hobbies and preferences, but I'm not gonna judge them. Our second set of grandparents live a little bit closer to the Twin Cities. They're actually not at all far from the Mall of America, which I myself used to live not too far from as well. So, and funny enough, we did go to the Mall of America, but, you know, that set of grandparents, they're a little bit more energetic, I think, in their own ways. They're definitely quirky, but, you know, all my family are very quirky, but my sister and I spent 2 weeks, you know, chilling, having some fun with grandparents that we haven't seen in a while, and doing all kinds of random activities. We didn't expect to, you know, go to the Mall of America. We probably should have, though. We didn't expect to go bowling. There was a lot I feel like we just didn't expect. We were just kind of along for the ride. But you know what? My sister and I desperately needed it. We were both under a lot of stress. And not just because of, you know, my project management certification program, and not just because of her work. Her work is stressful. She's a vet tech. But there was a little bit of another sort of, I guess, stressful event, you could say. My sister and her boyfriend, the 3 of us, you know, we moved in together. My sister and her boyfriend broke up just a couple of days before we left for vacation. So that was interesting. But, you know, it kind of ended amicably, I guess you could say. There wasn't really bad blood. They were kind of both... Seren was the one who made the first step, but both of them kind of realized this really is not working out. So, it is what it is. However, that led to something kind of interesting when we got back. Because, you know, when we got back, the house was so much emptier than it was before. And my sister's now ex-boyfriend was kind of sitting on the couch waiting for us to get home. He had packed everything of his, and he'd already moved it out. To where? I don't know. I literally have no idea. I didn't ask questions. I was just trying to bring stuff in from the car and, you know, start to organize and put stuff away while my sister and her ex were kind of having a bit of a conversation. Then he left. No big deal. Oh no, it's a super big deal. Because all of a sudden, my sister walks into her bedroom and there's no bed. Yeah. Granted, the bed did belong to her ex, but we had no warning. No warning whatsoever that he had taken the bed. So my sister had no bed. She had to end up sleeping on the couch. I offered my bed to her. I offered my bed. And she didn't take it. Now, on top of that, our big-ass TV was replaced with a smaller one. You know, the smaller one being ours, because the big-ass TV belonged to the ex. I wasn't quite as bothered by that. What I was bothered by was the fact that we all of a sudden had no Wi-Fi. Because he was the one who was paying for the Wi-Fi. But he didn't tell us. He didn't give us any indication across the 2 weeks that we were on vacation that he was going to be moving everything out. Everything. Even the bed and the Wi-Fi. So my sister had no bed. We had absolutely no Wi-Fi. And I don't know. I feel like we had a little bit of taking care of the animals to do, by the way. If you hear some godly noises, that is my dog playing with her new toy. And she is noisy as heck. So I apologize for that if you can happen to hear it. But, yeah. So, that night we got back, Saturday night, I think it was October 15th, we did not sleep well at all. I maybe got 3 hours of sleep. I couldn't fall asleep and I couldn't stay asleep. Falling asleep I can normally do just fine, but staying asleep, not so much. And my sister was in an even worse position. Because, you know, she gets easily stressed and anxious by this kind of stuff. You know, she takes medication for, you know, some like, you know, emotional and anxiety things. It's not super serious, but the medication definitely helps. So that's good. She was going through it so much worse. She got less sleep than I did. And honestly, I was pissed. I was pissed at him. At the ex. That, you know, we did not expect all of his stuff to be out. But it was. But he failed to warn us about anything and royally fucked us over. Which did not make me happy. I hated the fact that he put my sister in that kind of position. So the next day, Sunday, was literally the two of us, my sister and I, trying to clean up and rearrange kind of everything in the house, because it didn't look like the house, like, my dog, she sheds a lot. A lot. I have to vacuum on a weekly or even bi-weekly basis. It didn't look like the carpets were vacuumed at all. It didn't. And that did not make me super happy either. And just based on the behavior that we've seen from especially my dog since, he did not keep up with her commands, her training, anything like that. That did not sit well with me either. She's doing better, slowly but surely, but definitely got to keep an eye on her, because somebody didn't think to keep up her training at all, even though he's lived with her for a few months now. He should know this. We should have, but whatever. So, yeah. So the Sunday was, you know, the 16th was full of my sister and I cleaning and reorganizing everything as much as we possibly could. We had to get a brand new mattress for my sister, and we were exceedingly lucky that our aunt and uncle, because the night before, I was immediately trying to contact everybody that I could. My boyfriend, my parents, who were in Europe and couldn't respond until the morning, my aunt and uncle, I was reaching out to everyone being like, okay, there are these options, do you have any idea about these options? Eventually, my sister settled on the idea that she would just flat out need a brand new mattress, and she makes less money than I do. But our aunt and uncle were feeling extremely generous and helped out with a large cash portion of my sister's new mattress. And I helped with the rest because I was adamant about it. I was fully prepared to flat out buy her a new mattress with my own money, because I was able to do that and she kind of wasn't in the best position to do that. So I did that. We did that, me and my aunt and uncle. Bless them. Bless them so much. And we managed to get Wi-Fi up and set up that day. We got a couple new furniture items. We had to get some new lamps, some new floor lamps, because most of the floor lamps were his, and some of the rooms desperately needed some kind of light source. So we ended up getting just a few random things. By the end of Sunday, we were exhausted. Understandably so. I mean, I fully had time. I maybe had a couple of hours that night to, you know, edit some video material. I was exhausted. After 13 hours of driving, and then 8, 10, 12 hours of literally running around trying to fix messes that could have been avoided ahead of time. Yeah, it was not fun. But I'd say overall, my sister and I are in a better place. We actually feel like we're enjoying all the space that we have. We're making better use of it. Because her ex had so much shit. I'm not even joking. He had so much crap everywhere. It was ridiculous. And he didn't know how to organize or clean any of it whatsoever. He lacked so much kitchen etiquette too for all the cooking that he did. He had no kitchen etiquette. He did not wash any of the dishes after he finished. He didn't even ask Seren or I for help. And he was always making the same damn things every time. Most of them rice, which, you know, I'm not opposed to rice, but the frequency that we were having rice at was starting to make me a little sick of rice. But my sister and I actually have space. We actually can put a dining table in the dining room now. And we can move the kennels to the office, and my sister now has an office and a master bedroom to herself. Now you're probably thinking that I could have moved my stuff into the master bedroom and I could have had a larger space, especially, and maybe even a better, like, recording setup. But I didn't want to do that because both of us still have plenty of dressers and drawers and cupboards and shelves and whatnot. And not to mention the beds as well. I didn't want to move that. I didn't want to, like, switch rooms. That would have required an entire day. It would have been pointless. I don't care if my sister has the master bedroom. She can have it all she wants. She has a shit ton of books anyways. Mostly manga, but, well, yeah, mostly manga, but still. So, we're definitely doing better. I'd say the one place we are struggling is, financially, because it's pretty obvious. I'm not gonna hide it or anything, but 3 of us were in this duplex, and now there's just 2 of us. My sister and I have no inclination to move anytime soon again. We've already done that twice this year, and not prepared to do it again. The best that we can hope for is wait until my boyfriend's lease ends, which is going to be June of next year, and then, well, obviously before that time, we start actually looking for a house for the 3 of us. Now I know what you're thinking. The 2 sisters moved in with one of the boyfriends, and then said boyfriend became an ex and left. What makes you think that it's gonna work with the other boyfriend? I'm gonna tell you how. Well, my boyfriend is, how shall I put this? My boyfriend is actually an adult. He is a mature adult. Unlike the other fuckboy. And yes, I will call my sister's ex that. She will not care if I call him that. She won't. But yes, my boyfriend is actually an adult. He is chill, he is mature, he is far more attentive to my sister than her ex was. So yeah. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. We are gonna be kind of struggling and strained a little bit financially, which does kind of lead me into the next point, and probably the biggest part of this. Well, I'd say the vacation and the subsequent issues were probably the biggest part of this video, but it leads me into the next big topic of this video, which is not clickbait, a change in channel content. I've been wanting to change content on my channel in general for a little bit. I just didn't fully know how. Well, it was through another YouTuber's video, DougDoug's guide for new content creators. And yeah, I'm not a new content creator, I get that. But there was a lot of valuable information. I've also been watching another channel's videos. His channel is called Film Booth. He has a lot of great advice, and I've been watching a lot of those in the last week or so, and I have come to some pretty important decisions about changing my channel. The biggest one is going to upset a lot of people. I'm not going to do South Park on YouTube anymore. And just please, before you argue, before you talk in the comments below and just shout your rage and your anger about this, please give me a chance to explain. Please give me a chance to explain. Because this was not an easy decision. You guys have to realize that. I know it'll upset some people. I may lose subscribers. I'm fully aware of that, and I'm fully prepared for that. But I can't do it. And not to say that I'm stopping South Park entirely. I'm stopping South Park on YouTube. I told my patrons about this not too long ago, so they already knew that it was coming. Some of them even dropped off afterwards, and it could have potentially been related to the fact that I was going to quit South Park. But I don't know for sure, necessarily. But my patrons already knew about this for the last week or so, and one of them summed it up kind of perfectly. It's too much work for too little return, and it inflates the rest of the views on my channel. And it absolutely does. Guys, I can't put South Park content on YouTube. And because more often than not, it'll just get blocked immediately. And nobody can watch it. Which means I can't make money on it. I can't monetize on that. And I've seen a lot of my South Park views. A lot of the reactions, the full reactions, even if they're not the highest quality, because that's just how BitChute works. But a lot of the reactions will get hundreds, sometimes even thousands of views. So I know you guys watch it, but I'm not making any money on it. And now that my sister and I are a little bit more financially strained, I have to start thinking about what's going to make money. And unfortunately, South Park isn't, at least on YouTube. Here's the thing. I will be continuing South Park reactions on Patreon until I might deem that either I don't need to, or I don't know for sure. But this basically means that, yes, I am paywalling South Park content from now on until I stop. Now, that said, I still do plan on playing the South Park games when the time is right. And I still will put that on YouTube because that will not be problematic for anybody. But in terms of South Park reactions, I'm no longer putting them on YouTube. I'm no longer making them publicly visible. In terms of the Season 3 to Season 10 reactions, I'll still make those available to everybody. I almost considered not, but I'm not that much of an asshole, guys. But Season 11 onwards, sorry, I'm just gonna paywall it. The first 3 episodes of Season 11 are up on Patreon. They are available to watch. They are reacted to. I do plan on trying to push out 3 or 4 South Park reactions a month. And at the lowest tier, which is where you can access South Park reactions, it's only $3 on Patreon. So I am sorry to paywall it. I don't have much of a choice. And it kind of sucks too. I put so little effort into the South Park reactions. I'm just reacting and commentating on my own opinions. But it doesn't feel like I'm actually adding anything to my general channel or even to the South Park community. I'm just kind of providing my own opinion, and that's pretty much it. Okay, yeah, she's messing with one of her other toys. She's messing with her Kong. I kind of lost my train of thought. Fine. You want to come up here and join me? Hey. Come on. Okay. Hello, Mama. Hello. There, you get a cute dog. For just a hot second. Yeah, I put so little effort into the South Park videos, I feel like. I put so much more effort into so many more of my videos. My games, my forensics videos, my art and speed draws. And even some other reactions where I'm actually talking about stuff that I know things about. Whether it's certain parts of history, whether it's about writing or world building or characters, whether it's about open worlds and art. I love being able to do that, and I feel like I can't do that enough with South Park. That's why some of the reactions seem a little bit more lackluster. Because there's just not much that I can say, not much I can contribute. But I put so much more effort into my other videos, and yet they don't get as many views. And it's probably not the content that everybody's looking for, and I hate that that's what some people see me as. It's just a South Park creator. They don't look at my other videos. They don't look at my other content. They don't know what else I can do. And that kind of sucks, because South Park is not who I am. It is something that I have come to appreciate and enjoy to some extent, but it's not who I am. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in forensic science well, not long, but quite some time before I ever started watching South Park. I have been an artist since high school. I've been a writer since middle school, and I've been creating worlds and characters since I was a kid. That's like 6 or 7 years old. I have so many more things that I care about and am passionate about and love. And South Park just isn't one of those. So either I have to stop South Park altogether, or I paywall it. And you know, I will try paywalling for the time being, but if it doesn't gain a lot of traction, I'm just going to stop it altogether. And by the way, you guys who are constantly asking in the comments of all kinds of videos and community posts, you know, where's South Park? Where's South Park? It just got too annoying. I'm just gonna be blunt and honest. It got way too annoying for me. Guys, I edit all of my own content on top of a full-time job, on top of an art comic project, on top of other art and writing projects. I can't do all this on my own. I mean, I could, but it just means that I have to sacrifice in some areas if I want to do things in other areas. So I don't have much of a choice. Again, especially now that financially I'm going to be a little bit strained. If I'm going to put some effort into South Park, I need some kind of return. Like not even substantial, but just some kind of return. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring up something too. Well, I'm not going to bring it up on my computer. Like, I'm not going to bring it up here, but I'm going to bring up a like video of it. But I looked through every single one of my South Park videos. Every single one. I looked at all of the revenue that I had obtained from every single South Park related content video, whether it was just a link video to the actual reaction or whether it was a review or some kind of extended special video. I have looked through every single one of these. Yeah, I checked the total revenue of every one of these videos. The total revenue, you know, the revenue that every single video has garnered in its lifetime. In the span of 3 years, I have gotten, from like link videos, from the really short form content that's maybe a minute or less, about 70 over the course of 3 years. And for the reviews and extended videos and specials, about 155. So about 215-ish. Well, actually, that would be about 225 now that I think about it. So 225 total from all 122 South Park related videos. 122 videos, $225, give or take, 3 years. That's abysmal. Especially when I have so much more content that's making 5 times that. Over the course of its lifetime, that is. It's not a good return. It's not sustainable. It's not substantial. And I did that to show you guys the numbers. I had to show you some actual evidence, and this is what I got. If it were like 225 in a single month, that's not bad. That's decent and can at least give me a little bit of a gap. But 225 over the course of 3 years total, that doesn't do me anything. I mean, 225 divided by 36, what is that? I need to grab out my calculator because I can't do that kind of math in my head. I mean, 225 divided by 36 months. It's maybe $6.25 a month. For reaction videos that I really can't even monetize at all. It's not worth it. It's not worth it the way I'm currently doing it. It's not. And I know that's gonna upset a lot of people. But I don't have much of a choice. And don't go raging to me in the comments, please. I don't need any of that. Not right now. This was not an easy decision for me to make. But I flat out don't have a choice. So, South Park reactions, full episode reactions, will still be available on my Patreon. On YouTube, the links and those reactions will be available for seasons 3 through 11, 3 through 10, my apologies. But any season 11 reactions or afterwards, you have to be a patron to watch it. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And I'm not changing my mind about that. Anyways, on to some slightly better news. I mean, I think slightly better news. Remember when I said that I reacted? I did not react. When I watched DougDoug's guide for new content creators, one of the things that he did mention about, you know, creating new content was to, in order to grow your channel, grow your views, grow your audience, you need to do one of two things. One is to stand above the rest of the competition. The other is to create unique content. I can't really stand above the competition though. I'm not that good of a YouTuber, and this is still only a part-time gig. I have no intention of quitting my full-time job because I make too good of money at my full-time job for me to switch to YouTube full-time. Besides, I'm never switching to YouTube full-time. I already told everybody that multiple times over the course of 3 years. So, the other way is to create unique content. How does one do that though? Well, one of the big things that he suggested was fusion content, basically. And this is where my advantage lies. Because I may not be able to step above the rest of the competition, but my channel is so diverse. Have you seen the various kinds of playlists that I have on my channel? Various reactions, even though I'm trying to drop down reactions a little bit. A variety of gaming videos, art videos from live streams to commissions to speed draws, all that good jazz. Forensic videos where I teach people about forensics or criticize current media that relates to forensics and law enforcement. I mean, even some of my vlogs are animal videos, and those are just some of my content. My compilations, even though they're mostly of other YouTubers' content. By the way, I will definitely continue compilations, because even when I place half the normal ads that it might manually place, because if nobody's noticed, if I make a compilation of some other YouTuber's content, I take away the ads at the beginning of the video and cut in half, or cut in more in half, the mid-roll ads. I do that for a reason, because I still believe that I would like to get a little bit of compensation, because I spent a lot of time not just finding every single one of these clips. I skimmed through every single video. Well, not even skim. I kind of watched through every single video to get the necessary clips. And then I'll get high quality versions of those clips, and I'll put in my own edits too. So I think I might deserve a little bit of compensation for that. But it's still other YouTubers' content. So I cut the ads in half or more. And I still get some decent money from it. So I will definitely be continuing compilations, because those are kind of the money grabbers, at least for my channel. Don't get me wrong, some of my other videos still get some decent views and give me a relatively decent amount of revenue. The compilations are gold. So I'll definitely be continuing the compilations. I'll even try and increase some of those, because I've got so many ideas in my head of so many different compilations. It's just, I just always need time to look for the clips and put them together. But yeah, I have such a huge variety of videos and content already on my channel. It would be so easy to take something like that and fuse it together. I've already had some ideas. In a way, I've kind of already been doing it. Let me know his Dyatlov Pass case mystery and the search for DB Cooper. Jack the Ripper, I have watched. It's currently in the editing block. So you can, people who are waiting for that, you don't worry, it's coming. But I'm not just reacting to that video. I'm analyzing it with my own expertise as a forensic science major. Because again, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in forensic science. I spent 4 years in college studying forensic science, 2.5 years of chemistry, a year of physics, a semester of microbiology, and a full year of biology. That doesn't even include the forensic taphonomy, the pollen analysis, blood stains as evidence, crime scene investigation, crime scene photography. I'm not even joking, I took these classes in college. Human Remains was probably one of my favorites. We actually got to look at real human skeletons for the entirety of the semester in groups of 3. real human remains, real bones. It was amazing. We had it was great. But forensics is my kind of thing. I'm able to provide my own unique insights and analysis on a lot of Let Me Know's content because it relates to forensics. Again, I'm not just reacting to it, I'm providing my own insight as a forensic scientist of sorts. So I'm making the content more insightful and educational as a result. That's combining reactions and forensics. Easy! I was even doing the same thing with partial reactions of CSI episodes, which I probably could continue those as well, honestly. They take a little bit, but I could easily continue them. And I could draw fan art from games that I've played or games that people suggest that I play, whether it's simple or cutesy in nature or whether it's more complex. I could do live streams or art or speed draws, apologies, of me drawing fan art, stuff like that. And I know I asked in a poll a while back and everybody was like, yeah, just keep doing whatever art you're doing. But in the art community, if you're trying to gain some footing, fan art is kind of the way to go. And I still want to make a lot of my own original content, of course. But I could stand to make some more fan art as well. I've already been doing that for Hollow Knight, and a lot of people, I mean, I don't know about a lot of people, but there are quite a number of individuals who seem to like what I put out. So I could do that. And some of the games that I play, I could really hone in and focus on the storytelling and the world building and the characters, the lore, the plot elements, all of that good jazz. Because I'm a writer. Because I'm passionate about that. Because I know about those kinds of things. And I can provide insight and information while I'm playing a game. It is a little bit tricky for me to play a game and talk about stuff at the same time. I need to work on that, so that's going to be a slight bit of a struggle. I'm not used to talking nonstop for long periods of time, but maybe I should try training myself a little bit to do that, so that I'm able to provide some decent, like a wide variety of decent content. So I've already got ideas for how to fuse some of my categories together, and again, that's the advantage that I have, is that there are so many categories of content on my channel that I could easily fuse together in some manner or another. So that's what I'm going to start doing. That's what I'm going to start pushing for, is some of that unique fused content. I may not get it right all the time, and I may not push out that kind of fused content 100% of the time, but it's a step in the right direction. I'd like to be able to bring in new viewers, to bring in new kinds of content, to bring in something interesting that people might not see from anybody else in the community. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to put my heart and soul into projects like these, because I could be really passionate about them, especially if it's anything related to forensics or art or writing. Those three are my big passions without a doubt. And I need to make use of it. I need to capitalize on it. That just sounds wrong to say that out loud, but okay. Okay. You know what meme I'm referencing. You're a god. Well, no. You're a real one, though. So yeah. Yeah. I'm still gonna be pushing out the same kind of usual content that I do on DeviantArt, on Webtoons, on Patreon. I'm still gonna be pushing out all that good jazz, but my channel definitely is gonna change. And that is going to primarily be seen with the removal of South Park, with the less frequent reactions, and increased fused content, is what I could call it. So that's kind of the big, surprise moment. Yeah, not sure how people are gonna feel about that. Well, I can imagine how some people are gonna feel about that, and they're just gonna have to deal. Even if they're not happy, if they're the kinds of fans who didn't really care much about my South Park content, but liked a variety of my other content, you guys are the community members that are going to stick with me. And for that, I greatly appreciate you guys. I know that there are a few of you, and you know who you are. You know who you are. If you're a fan of multiple different kinds of my videos, whether it's because of Markiplier, because of my art videos, because of Genshin Impact playthroughs, because of whatever. But you know who you are, and you still support my decision in this, and I appreciate you so much. If you came here mostly for my South Park and you're disappointed, I am sorry. I can understand that, but it is what it is. Not a lot. I mean, there's everything I could do about it, but I need to do what's right now. And I need to do what, or I guess not really what's right, but I need to do what makes sense and what I should do. And unfortunately, cutting off the South Park head on YouTube is what I need to do. Many of you may disagree, but it's what I need to do. So, yeah. This ended up being a fairly long spiel, but it's a vlog that needed to happen. It really needed to happen. Now I'm gonna have to play Hollow Knight for at least 35 minutes. Oh no, I have to play Hollow Knight for at least 35 minutes. Although, now that I think about it, one other thing I do want to mention, too, I am well aware that Thankmas is coming up in probably about a month, a little over a month. I've got something planned. I've got ideas. I've got plans for Thankmas. I've got big plans for Thankmas. Don't you worry. Might blow some people's minds. We'll see what happens. So, I don't have anything else to say. I can already feel myself straining my voice. Non-stop talking for 35, 37 minutes, and my voice already feels strained. I definitely need to practice at this. So, I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for watching. I've got things to do. I've got lots of things to do. But, as usual, until the next video, guys, check you laters.